Yeah, just heading into action, so we're excited about that. I'll talk about that in a second, but I know we got a lot of teams wrapping up, UMass wise, that are heading to a lot of MAC championships and stuff. So want to wish them the best of luck. Field hockey, men's and women's cross country, and then men's soccer's got a big game on Saturday. I was actually sitting with some of the assistants yesterday at our luncheon. So best of luck to all of them as they wrap it up and kind of their season comes to an end. Hopefully they can get what they want. As for us, we had some time to recover. Watch the game. We kind of got to reset our week here. So today, for me in my head, is a Monday, which I know sounds weird because we're playing on Tuesday. So, a lot of things go into that. Kind of from when I've been in bowl games and perspective on that, you kind of reset your week and kind of make everything in terms of a game week. So we've done that. We haven't practiced at all this week. Really was not able to. So hopefully the last time they hit was Saturday. We'll go out and practice tomorrow for a normal Tuesday. So looking forward to that. We've done 2 lifts. We flushed our legs out a bunch with some workout stuff on Tuesday. But it's really been about the recovery and the rehab and trying to get some guys back. So we're excited about it. I mean, this is why we got into this league, this MACtion. Crazy stuff will happen, and hopefully we can be on the good side of it. But we're excited. We got a great opponent that's been playing really, really well that I have a lot of respect for. So looking forward to it.
How have you adjusted your practice schedule? Are you going to practice at night now, or are you still going to practice in the daytime because you're playing at night? And will you practice over in the stadium when the weather's okay with the lights on?
Yeah, so we're going to keep to our schedule because of the academic schedule, right? So our guys take class primarily from anywhere from 11:30 on, so that we can go in the morning for normal like Saturday games. So we will start. So for this week, for instance, today is Monday in my head. Tomorrow's Tuesday, so they do have class Friday afternoon. Normally that's a travel day, so that's a little different. Then we'll go Saturday and Sunday to keep their body clock the same. We'll still go in the morning. The difference is, which is hopefully a help for us, they don't have class afterwards. So the training room, the treatment, and all those things that kind of, might get pushed back to later in the day, they can do right after. We'll travel on Monday. So our operation from Tuesday through Friday will be the same. Same time of day, normal operation. The biggest difference will be after the game. Normally what we do is we bring them in on Sunday. But because we're playing night games and we won't get back until 3, 4 in the morning, they have to go to class the next day. So we're going to give them off the day after the game, and then we'll kind of recap the game as a staff, move on to our next opponent, start game planning, and then 2 days after the game, we'll bring them in the morning before their class for the game recap. What's really interesting is we go from a 10-day window right now. We will pick up an extra day next week. We go to 8 days because we play on a Tuesday, then we play on a Wednesday. The hard one's going to be Northern Illinois to Ohio. We lose a day. It's a 6-day. So it's very similar in the past. At my Big Ten stops, we played on Saturdays and then have to go play on Friday nights on the Fox game. So we'll use a similar thing there, and then we reset with Bowling Green for 7. So the structure will stay the same. We'll still be in the morning, and then we just got to work through it. We're going to be Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or really Saturdays and Sundays will be the biggest adjustment to go through.
With the long break in between games, how much self-scouting did you do, and what have you seen since then?
Yeah, I think, reflecting back on the Central game, like I said, after the game is exactly how I felt when I watched it on the plane and then recapped it again yesterday with the team. They out-physicaled us. They out-executed us for a lot of the portion of that game. I was disappointed with a little bit of the effort, second half stuff. So we had a 9-play cut up yesterday that we watched all together as a team. So those are the kinds of things I got to keep my eye on. But certainly self-scout wise, we have what we have in terms of players. There's nothing's going to change there. So a lot of younger guys, a lot of guys who are in that game that have that played for the first time or started for the first time. I think our numbers now, we have 15 out of 22 starters out from day one against Temple. So again, hopefully we get some of those back. But ultimately, I think the growth, hopefully we can show over the next 4 as the last part of our season here will be critical. Self-scout wise, I think we've cut it down to as much as we can in terms of the guys that are playing too. You can't overload them. So Now it's to be just keep progressing off of that. Each week will change because of the opponent's scheme, but I think we've done everything we can do to put ourselves in the best position moving forward.
Like you said, up to 20 names on last week's injury report. What's the process of those guys getting back, and what can you say of specific names getting back for Akron?
Yeah, I think you saw Rocco and Gibby play a little bit, but ultimately I think they tried to put themselves in a position where we kind of knew going in that they were limited. So we kind of gave them a rep count, being back. So hopefully, the 10 days here, not doing anything since Saturday really physically in terms of contact, will get them back for a better performance and a longer performance. Chambray looks to be okay. Hopefully we can progress him. He didn't even play. He was listed as questionable, but we took him out pregame. He just couldn't do it. Again, give him credit. Our head guys, our concussion guys, that's going to be all if they don't have any setbacks. That's kind of how that goes. So we'll see on that. Kyle Brown and Sully. Kyle Brown did just punt in the game. Speaks again to the type of kid he is. He's like, I'm doing punt. I was like, all right, well, can't play on offense because wouldn't be able to last. So Sully's looking good. Hopefully, again, progressing in the right direction. Rashad was able to play a little bit. Was kind of stiff there for a little bit of it. He was able to come back. Reese is going to be out for a little bit here. Trying to get him back. Hopefully Darion is back. We'll see. And again, this is barring no setbacks here. I mean, they could go out tomorrow and take a hit in practice, which we're going to try and design as best we can to get what we need to get done. But ultimately, you got to have some physical contact. So that's really the rundown. So hopefully we'll be a little bit better off, I would imagine, on Tuesday.
Mike Entwistle and Donovan Dyson are two guys that weren't on the depth chart to start the season. What have you seen with their progression throughout the season and where they are now?
Yeah, I think Mike's done a great job. I think, being a grad transfer too, right? He's played a lot of football, comes here, doesn't start initially. It's kind of like what we're preaching, right? You just stick to the grind and keep working. But he's done a nice job, especially in these last 2 games, and he's going to have to step up again. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the way he's handled his situation. I'm proud of the way he's come in here. He's got a great mindset, and he's that's what you want, right? You want to plug guys in, next man up, and you want to have them go out there and do what they need to do. And then, Dice did a great job in the Buffalo game, I thought, for just coming off the bench. I think he wants this game back from just an overall perspective. I think the first time you're starting and it's going to be you, there's a little bit more anxiety in that stuff. And like I said, I think all of our defensive players had a really hard time with that scheme in terms of fitting some things up. Anytime people bring three guys off the ball, there's a lot of ways they can go, a lot of things they can do. So, but he's going to have another opportunity hopefully here to go out and just keep growing. So happy with both of them. I'm sure they want some plays back like we all do, but just keep progressing them.
Anything jump out to you on how Akron does things?
Yeah, I'll start with Joe. I think Joe Moorhead over the last 10, 15 years is more than likely one of the top play callers in the country at every level. When he was at Fordham, I was at Maine. We never played each other, but Patriot League tape and CAA tape always crossed. He was at Penn State before I had gotten to Minnesota. Obviously what he did there, Mississippi State, and then we went against him last year at Rutgers. So I was probably more nervous for that game than a lot of them, just because you always know, he's going to get you. No matter what you do, he's going to have a play, a scheme. He's going to have a one-on-one. He's going to have a formation. He's going to have a motion. He's going to have something in there. I think he's great with the eye candy, which we struggle with. Right? Our eyes are not great at times in the secondary. So just a tremendous amount of respect. I remember saying to the defensive staff at Rutgers, we got to survive the openers. That 10, 15, 20 plays that he designs are going to be probably pretty on to be right. So you can't let those be explosives. You can't let those be touchdowns. You kind of got to get through that and survive the storm, because that's what these guys, all the guys that are like him, the Jeff Brohms of the world, Ryan Day when he was calling it, Jed Fish, they're gonna get you. They've been around for a long time. They're great coaches, and you can tell he's got confidence. The way he calls it always, and I think his players now have confidence. That's the biggest difference I see between the Akron team I faced last year and this year. There's a confidence throughout the entire organization and team right now, and the way they competed and the way they went out last week and basically all year. If you take out the Duquesne game and take out Nebraska, I mean, they're in every game. I mean, it's a one-score game late. A lot of things are going on. So, but it'll be a severe challenge. And, they're hitting their stride right now. Like, they're really playing top-level football all three phases. I mean, they had 5 turnovers on defense last game. If you count the fake field goal and then the turnover on downs on 4th and 1, you could say they had 7. So their defense is playing at a high level. And certainly their special teams is doing the same thing. So you can just tell they're a team moving in the right direction, and it's going to be a challenge.
How'd you do at scout team corner last week?
I did pretty good. Stayed healthy, had to rotate. I punched the ball out on Tuesday. Brandon Hood's not going to be happy that I mentioned that, but I did. I didn't have any interceptions, but we're supposed to shadow on defense, so I wasn't able to go for the ball. But no, man, it's great. I thought it produced some energy. I mean, Coach Castellito took over for me at safety at some point because I was a little worn out. Hopefully we get some. The guys I don't talk about. The scout team guys that aren't playing, we don't talk about. We've had some injuries there, so hopefully we get a couple of those guys back. But it was fun. It reminded me why I'm in this. Not ultimately play scout team, but why. After you finish playing, you kind of you don't go away. You want to be part of the game. So that was fun. So I'm sure I'll make an appearance here or there this week, but I was a little worn out. I remember doing the radio interview with Jay and Dan. I was a little out of breath. That was like 15 minutes after, so it was good. It was fun.
Were you in pads?
I was not. No. I won't. Because then I give them a reason to hit me. They know not to hit me when I'm just clothed like this, I guess. So a lot of cover 3, a lot of different things. I was ahead of the cards, so I selected hopefully what cards I could do, handle.
Coach Castellito coming in for you, is that like a longevity thing? Or?
Yeah, Coach Kaz has had to do that in the past. He's more of a safety body. I'm a little bit more of a field corner. I don't like not mix it up too much. So, but that's him, right? That's like a lot of the guys that we have. There's been guys that have we bring. We bring Jerry down, who's a freshman D lineman for us. He played offensive tackle last week, and just loves the game. Like guys that do that. There's scout team guys going back and forth, and that's credit to our scout team guys and our walk-ons that are in that position that aren't in the 2 deep. They're sacrificing and they're doing everything they can do. They're going both ways. We're going at the same time now because we have to. So it's been good. We're kind of all in one field. There's an energy. There's a juice. And it's been fun. So we'll see how much we have to fill in this week after I get the report tonight at 5. But if we have to, we'll be ready. We'll be ready to go.
You talked about a couple of weeks ago how you've gone against almost exclusively man coverage. How have you guys advanced in your ability to play against that?
Yeah, I think we've tried to do some things. I think Saturday, our 3 drops were critical. The one to Max, the one to Gibby, and then ultimately Kez in the corner of the end zone. So I think we ultimately created probably a little bit more separation there. And I think it goes with growth on Coach Hogan and how he teaches, Coach Lehman and how he teaches, the understanding of leverage and press and catch technique on defense. And then, we are doing everything we possibly can do formationally to help our guys out to relieve some of that stress. But at the same time, we've been struggling a little bit with cadence and some motions. So there's that, right? So we'll see. I'm sure that their plan is going to be to do a little bit of that. You'll never know when you get into the game, but I think ultimately the timing of thing, the spacing, and our technique has improved a little bit. So we'll see if we can take advantage of that.
What are they like defensively, and what are you going to have to do offensively? We have to do some things differently based on what they do and with your players.
Yeah, I think they do a good job with everything they do. I think they give you different looks. I thought they did a great job getting after the quarterback against Buffalo, especially in critical situations. They'll bring a lot of 5 and 6 mans. They have some quarter elements to them. But I think in that game they did a great job, in critical situations, 3rd downs and some late in the game situations where they got after you. There was a 2-minute drill where I think they brought 6 on the last drive, and they challenge you. That's the biggest thing I think I noticed over the last couple. They're challenging. Their confidence has grown. So I think for us, It's putting our guys first in the best position. What is best, right, for AJ and his development, and what can we give him, and what can he operate with? And certainly, I think you guys have seen. I think AJ does a little bit better with some of our up tempo stuff. He's done a good job in a couple of the 2 minutes we've had the last couple of weeks, just operating that. But then, like I said, those drops just are killer massively from how wide open we were, just to keep the momentum kind of going. And we got to hang in the game, obviously, longer to make sure our run game can stay effective, which I think has been a bright spot, especially Buffalo. Ultimately, Rocco had that 48-yard run to start the game. And then, you get down 21-7, and we don't want to abandon it, but at the same time, with what they did offensively, it limits your possessions. It's like facing almost like a triple option operation. So I think that goes a little bit into it. So I think offensively, just keep putting our guys in position to be successful. And at the same time, we do need to have checks. We do need to do those things. And I think our offensive staff obviously is working very hard to get it to that medium, right? That meeting point that it can be the best of both worlds.
Obviously, Rocco, like you said, with that 40-yard touchdown, how important is he to finally getting that first win?
Yeah, I can't speak. I think I've spoken very highly of him. Just the way he operates, the way he was raised. He just wants to do whatever he can do for the team. So getting someone like him back, I think it helps the running back room. I think it helps the team, the offense, just his energy, his positivity. And he has to be a critical factor for us moving forward. You saw what Hood did against Buffalo, and if we can get a two-headed monster going here, that enables us to run the ball and keep the pressure off of AJ in some situations. Anyone that's in third and long doesn't do very well. So we gotta limit that. If we're more efficient in the run game, first and second down, that'll set us up. So certainly he's a big part of that. And a lot of the run game scheme, listen, there's going to be a one-on-one tackle. There's 11 on 11. So usually the running back's got to make a guy miss at least. So I think that what he has the ability to do, what Brandon does, what a couple of those other guys have the ability to do, and now we got to go do it.
With the current college football landscape and only having 4 games left in this season, how do you keep your locker room focused on this season?
Yeah, certainly there's distractions everywhere, but I think I've made it pretty apparent yesterday that, we can only guarantee what we have left. Whatever happens after Bowling Green is really up to none of us. So we have to take advantage of the opportunity and the guarantee that we have, which is right now all we're focused on is Akron and putting our foot together for that. Everything that happens after that will happen after that, but I think I owe it to this university and to this team to not even think about anything other than today, moving forward, because, again, they're great opponents. But like I've said before, I think every game in this league is winnable, every single one. Whether or not we do that is up to us. But certainly with this day and age and everything going, the coaching carousel is out of control. It will be. So that's another thing that's going to be wrenched into that. You get the one portal window now, so there's certainly all those things that they can go on their phone and they can look at. But inside these walls, we'll be talking about Akron and how to put our best foot forward to beat them.
Obviously, you talk about Friday night games. You played Friday night in the Big Ten. Have you ever done a Tuesday night kind of game? Obviously not action, but a Tuesday night kind of game in your college football coaching career?
No, I played a couple Monday freshman games when I was in high school, but that's about it. Never I've had a couple bowl games be in the middle of the week. That's kind of what our mindset is. But I think there's excitement. I think, listen, we can use a little bit of change and shake up probably. So hopefully playing during the middle of the week, national television, there's 2 games on. Get to go out and show people that we can be the team that we want to be. So I'm excited about it. It's a great venue that this league provides. Not only does the league provide us with stability, but it provides us with this platform to put our best foot forward and to go out there and put a great effort out. So I'm excited about it. I remember game planning over the last 7 years. The game's on in the background a little bit when I'm at my other schools, and it's kind of cool to peek up and watch and see some of the stuff that happens, and they call it Maction for a reason. So I'm excited about being a part of that against a great opponent. So it should be fun.
What have the guys' responses been like about transitioning to the Tuesday games?
Yeah, I think a little just like offset at first because, again, it's Tuesday, but it's really Saturday. So then, and that's kind of how we're laying it out for them. So They're excited about it. This is our first time going through it. I think we have 3 guys, when I asked them to raise their hands, that have played in a action game. I think I have that right. I think it's TG, DD Snyder, and Josh Nobles, maybe. I think those are the 3, if I have that right, unless someone didn't raise their hand, which is highly possible. But I think they're excited. I think it kind of provides a spark, potentially when we need one. A little change up, little night game, little under the lights. I've talked about it being one of only 2 games on in college football. So I think their response has been good so far. So we'll see. It's going to be a little bit weird, I guess, traveling on a Monday and playing on a Tuesday, and there's not really football on besides us. So got to figure out something that they're going to watch. I guess Monday Night Football will be on, so they'll watch that in the hotel at night when they're in their rooms. So, but I think they're excited. I think they're ready to go. Well, ultimately, time will tell.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.